I'm testing the mic. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Hello, everybody. I hope you're ready to learn some English. We'll start in 35 seconds. Eugene from Automation Secure Home says, today is again expected to be extremely hot with humidex values reaching 40 for many areas. Yes, we're in a heat wave here in Canada, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to spend a lot of time outside today, let's just say that. But hey, we'll start in about 15 seconds once I am sure that everything is working. And we're going to talk about how to describe things you buy or things you've bought, whether you already bought it or you're going to buy it. Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about describing things you buy. You can't really go through life without buying things. So there's probably things that you've bought that you already own, or things that you want to buy or are going to buy. And it's nice to be able to describe those things. There's a variety of words in English that we use to describe the things we buy, sometimes used to express what we think about it before we buy it, the reason we want to buy it, or to describe it after we bought it. Some of these words will be very positive, some will be a little bit negative. But once again, welcome to this English lesson where we're going to learn to describe the things that we've bought or the things that we're going to buy. Hey, before we get started, first of all, huge thank you to Mode Eggs for sending me a birthday present, a hammock. I haven't tried it yet. It's actually on the couch over there. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's hiding behind the corner, but it's been raining here a ton. Sorry, I know I'm off topic, but I did want to thank Mode. It's been raining here a ton, like every day it rains. It rained again last night. It rained yesterday. While we were getting loading the van for market, it rained. While we were at market, it rained. The night before it rained. It rains here all the time. I'll stop talking about it. We're also, though, in a heat wave, as Eugene mentioned. So hopefully that ends later today. But anyways, I'm going to teach you today about describing things. If you have a question during the lesson, please use the link to ask the question using the form. That keeps things nice and orderly. Dave is here to moderate the chat. And I'm not sure if Brent from Speak English with This Guy will be here today. I'm not sure, 100% sure if he's on the road already. Brent and I are meeting up. Brent is coming to Canada. I will be seeing him pretty much all day Sunday, all day Monday. We have a few things planned. I'm not going to give you all the details, but what I will tell you is this. Look for a live stream, maybe Sunday night, maybe Monday morning. Brent and I haven't finalized when yet, but we'll be doing a special live stream later this weekend. So evening Eastern Standard Time, Sunday or Monday morning, or maybe both. Maybe we'll do a couple short ones. We'll do one on my channel and then one on his channel. So Brent from Speak English with This Guy is coming to Canada. I will mention that we might be going to Niagara Falls. I don't want to give away too many details, but anyways, if he does jump in the chat, maybe my recollection is that he's driving up today already. So he might be driving right now. Anyways, enough about me, enough about Brent. Just stay tuned for details. We'll let you know what we're doing when we decide to do it. Describing things you buy. Should we get this lesson started? I think we should. Let's do that. Here we go. Premium. So when I buy gas, I buy regular gas. So if you look here, there are 3 different types of gas. There's regular, and there's plus, and there's premium. Premium is a word we use to describe something that we buy that's of very high quality. If you buy cheese, you can buy premium cheese. It's the best cheese. Maybe it's been aged for 3 years instead of 1 year. When you buy gas in Canada, you can buy premium. There's other words too. When you buy gas, you can buy plus and super plus. We have a lot of different words. Bob generally buys regular though, because he just drives normal vans. I don't drive a sports car. And by the way, the prices there are not the Canadian prices, unless you put a 1 in front, like $1.54 a liter would be right. I think this might be American pricing. I'm not sure. But premium, a way to describe something that is very high quality. which is the next word. When you buy something that's high quality, it's made really well. They've used the best materials when they've made it. And they've really made sure when they make it that they take their time and do it properly. If you've ever bought a high quality belt, it lasts for years. When you buy a high quality belt, the buckle on the belt is very, very well made. When you buy a high quality belt, they use the best materials, the best leather or any other material that they're using. So high quality simply means the best material, and they were very careful and worked cautiously. No, not cautiously. They worked carefully and with a lot of care when they put it together, which is the opposite of low quality. I'm sure you've bought something before that's low quality. If you buy low quality jewelry, sometimes it breaks really easily. Sometimes the clasp on the necklace will stop working. The clasp is where it connects together on the back. If you buy a low quality belt, sometimes the buckle breaks, or maybe some of the thread starts to come out. So high quality, well made, good materials. Low quality, just not made well at all, and very low quality materials as well. We also use the phrase well made. In Canada, it's well known that Japanese cars are well made. A lot of the cars in Canada that are imports, the cars that come from other countries, are very well made. American cars are well made as well. But there was a time when people really liked to buy Honda cars in particular, they still do by the way, or Toyota cars because they're very well made. At the factory, the people who are building the car have very high standards. They always do a good job when they're building the car. And so when the car is finished, it's considered to be well made. When people buy a car like that, it lasts a very long time and doesn't need to be fixed very often. So a well-made car is just put together with care. When the people are building it at the factory, they do a really good job, and they always use parts when they build the car that are well made as well. Poorly made. So I apologize to anyone who is from America. This is an American car. This is a poorly made car, or was known to be poorly made. It had some design flaws. One of the problems with this car is that it very easily, if it got in an accident, bad things could happen. It wasn't very well made. So we would say it was poorly made. I believe this is a Pinto, but I'm not 100% sure. So a poorly made car, the design itself is bad. Perhaps the way it was put together is bad, and the materials that were used were bad as well. Poorly made. And then sometimes we just, in English, say something is junk. So junk is usually used to refer to things you don't want anymore. So trash, garbage, junk. We use those words somewhat interchangeably. But we also sometimes will just say, oh, I bought a new purse and the strap is already getting frayed. You see how it's getting frayed? Someone might say, it's just junk, or they might say it's a piece of junk. So it's another way to describe something that's poorly made. You might just call it junk, or you might call it a piece of junk. I, in the past, have bought many things where I'm like, this bike is just junk. Or I did have a belt once that was just junk, a piece of junk. Work of art. So art is something beautiful that people make, a painting or a sculpture. A work of art can be a painting or sculpture as well, but sometimes you will want to buy something like an iMac, which is just so well designed and looks so nice that you would say it's a work of art. Have you seen the new iMac? Oh, it's a work of art. It means that you like the way it's designed. You like the curves and the edges and how it looks and the metal and plastic that they use to build it. So if you ever buy something that's just beautiful as well as functional, you would maybe describe it as a work of art. Flawless. So flawless is often used to describe something like a pearl or a diamond, but it can be used to describe many things. It means that it has no flaws. So there's no imperfections. So a flawless pearl, there's no, like, it's perfectly round. It doesn't have any marks on it. There's no small holes. It's not misshapen. It's a perfect sphere. So you would say it's flawless. I used a lot of words there. You might have to rewind and listen to that part again. But when something is flawless, it means there's no mistakes, there's no flaws, there's no blemishes. There's another word for you. And often used to describe something like, you know, if a diamond is cut perfectly, it's a flawless diamond. Or if you buy a perfectly spherical pearl, you might say that it is flawless. And then we have handcrafted. So handcrafted is used to refer to anything that is made by hand, that is made with someone's hands instead of a machine. So when something is handcrafted, someone took the time to make it with their hands. Jen sells bouquets, and we call them handcrafted bouquets. She puts them together one stem at a time. She doesn't put all the flowers in a machine and a bouquet comes out the other end. Every bouquet is handcrafted. So it also communicates to someone that each one is unique. A machine makes perfect copies when it makes something. But when something is handcrafted, each item the person makes usually is a little different than the one before. So it's handcrafted. Hey, Brent is here. Hi, Brent. Hey, Brent, I told people you were coming to visit. So I hope you still make it here. Just to review, I'm going to do some questions in a sec. But just to review, Brent from Speak English with This Guy is making the trip up to Canada. That's how we would describe it. Even though I think it's more like he's driving across, because Canada is above the US, we often say making the trip up. And I'll be seeing him Sunday, Monday. So again, Brent and I talked on the phone the other day. We'll probably do a live stream on each of our channels, either Sunday night or Monday morning. We'll let you know though when we're doing that. And then I haven't talked to Brent about this yet, but we might just do a couple live streams Sunday night, maybe shorter ones, 45 minutes each, and then a couple Monday morning. So depending on what time zone you're in, you won't miss out. So I'll talk to Brent about that when he gets here. But Brent's coming. We're going to spend 2 days. We're going to shoot a couple of videos. We're going to do some live streams. We're going to have some fun. And we'll share everything we do with all of you. So look for that in the next week or so. A few live streams, and then maybe a week later, a couple of videos. We'll see how things go. But anyways, Brent, good to see you this morning. Let's do some questions from all of you. Let me get some questions up on the screen. Let's see here from Renata. Good morning, Bob. Is the word shoddy used often in Canada and in the US? Yes. When you buy something that is shoddy, of poor quality, thank you, have a great day. Definitely. We sometimes say this, like, it's just really shoddy, or it's really shoddy workmanship. That means the people who put it together didn't do a good job. But yes, shoddy is definitely used to talk about poor quality. Let's see here from Ramanov. Hi, Bob. It is interesting to me. Do you buy something to protect yourself or your family if there is a forest fire? So where I live, there aren't forest fires. So we do not own anything to protect ourselves from forest fires. The only thing we really have in case of emergency, that's the English phrase, like in case of emergency, we do have a generator. So if we lose power, we can use a generator to power some things in our home, not everything, just a small generator. Let's see here. From Natalia, hello, Bob. Happy belated birthday. Thank you. Could you mention different adjectives to use for types of purchases, like a rip-off, a lemon, mint condition, brand new, etc.? I will talk about brand new. The others I don't have in the list, so let's do them quickly. A rip-off is when you pay more for something than it was worth. So if I paid $10 for a little box of strawberries, I could say that was a rip-off. A lemon is usually used to refer to a car that you buy and then later find out it has lots of problems. And then mint condition means like it's brand new almost. And brand new means like new, like no one else has owned it before. Let's see here. Just looking at the chat. Hey, Brent, are you on the road already? I can't remember what you said when we talked the other day. It's about a 9.5-hour drive, stopping at some tourist places. Ah, yes, good plan. Let me get the next question here. From Hafiez, got my wisdom tooth out on Monday. Ouch. I had all 4 done at once about 20 years ago. That wasn't fun. Now in pain. To prepare, I'd purchase ice packs, painkillers, and soft foods, yogurt, milk, eggs, and bread. Wonder how was your experience? Not good. I still don't like chicken soup because I ate chicken soup afterwards. And then one of the spots got infected, I think, when I got mine out. Yeah, it was not nice. Not a nice experience at all. Let's see. From Rabaz. Hi, dear Mr. Bob. Though when we explain countable and uncountable nouns, we say money is an uncountable noun while it can be counted. So not clear enough. What do you think? Yeah, I should do a whole lesson on countable and uncountable nouns. I think that would be the best approach for this, so I can explain some things. Because even though you say money is uncountable, if you have different bills, you can count your money, right? So it's tricky. So anyways, I'll do a more thorough response to that at some point. From Henry from Taiwan. Hi, Teacher Bob. Is your new phone worth the money you paid for it? Yes. What's your take on the new handset? Thanks a lot. I like it a lot. I bought a Pixel 7a. I think it was well worth it. I'm happy with it. Those are 2 ways you would describe being content with a purchase. It was well worth it, and I'm happy with it. Definitely happy with it. Brent says, I'm picking up my rental car and then we'll be heading out. We'll have a good drive. I hope you have a safe drive, and I hope you get across the border no problem. Hopefully you're not too, well, I'm sure you're just a happy American tourist. I'm sure that the Canadian officials will let you in. So safe travels, man. Okay, let me see. I think I have one more question. Ahmed, hello, dear teacher. Is this phrase correct? I got shy from her to buy something. So it's not correct, and I'm trying to get the sense of it. You could say she shied away from buying something. So when you shy away from something, you decide not to do it. So someone might say, you know, he went to buy the brand new iPhone, but he shied away because he thought it was too much money. So it's not a really common phrase, but that's the closest I can think of. Okay, let me get a sip of water here. I'm going to mention this a few times because I'm hyping it up, but Brent is coming to visit. Look for live streams Sunday night or Monday morning or both, depending on how. Well, after Brent and I get done doing the thing we're doing Sunday, where we might be yelling a lot, hopefully we still have voices. So that's a little teaser for something that you might see in a video. We'll see. Let me check my audio and then I'll get back to the lesson. Yes, let's get back to the lesson. Perfect. So perfect is used to describe, again, something that has no flaws or even that looks beautiful. Often a bride will describe their wedding dress by saying it's perfect. Or someone will say, did you see her dress? It was perfect. So it just means something that's really well made, something that was made with great care, something that's good for the situation as well. So if I bought a bike because I was going on a long bike ride, someone could say, how was the bike? And I could say, oh, it was perfect. It was exactly the right bike for the trip that I went on. So when something's perfect, it's just awesome in every way. So there's 3 words I'm going to teach together here: inferior, superior, and extraordinary. And I'm going to use the 3 kinds of ice cream we buy. You'll notice there's French on some of these because in Canada, sometimes both languages are always on everything. But when I buy this brand of ice cream, hopefully the company that makes it doesn't watch this video. I feel like it's inferior. I'm comparing it to this kind of ice cream, which is better. It's superior. And this kind of ice cream, which is extraordinary. So inferior means low quality. The ingredients aren't the best ingredients. In fact, this ice cream has fewer ingredients, the extraordinary. It just has cream and sugar and a couple other things in it. But this one has a lot of ingredients. It tastes okay. It's not amazing. In English, we might say it hits the spot. Like if it's a hot day and you want ice cream, I will eat this kind with some chocolate sauce on it. But it's not as good as the other two. It's an inferior product. This is a superior product to this, definitely. This is really good ice cream. In fact, yesterday at the market, there's a shop, an ice cream shop that sells this ice cream. And I had 2 scoops of mint chocolate chip. It was tasty. This ice cream, though, is amazing. It's the best ice cream that I can buy. It's also a little bit expensive, but it is made with the best ingredients. It's made with high quality cream. It's made with a recipe from 50 years ago where it's just a simple, awesome ice cream. So 3 different words: inferior, not as good; superior, better; and extraordinary, like the best. This is an extraordinary ice cream. You know, sometimes in English, we will overpronounce this word. We'll say something like, oh, it's extraordinary. But the fast way to say it is extraordinary. It's extraordinary. But sometimes, just to be fun, we will say extraordinary. Maybe just Bob says that. Run of the mill. So when something is run of the mill, it's just normal. Maybe you went to a restaurant and you had green beans and someone says, oh, did you have those new green beans, those new amazing ones, the new variety? You can say, no, it was just a run-of-the-mill green bean. So it just means you had an ordinary bean. There was nothing special about it. When we buy strawberries, we just buy run-of-the-mill strawberries. When I buy, let me see, I'm trying to think of another example. I'll leave it with those. But basically, run-of-the-mill simply means ordinary. Nothing special about it. And then we just have the word ordinary. So when you buy a car, if you buy, you know, just a simple 4-door car with nothing extra, it doesn't have a bigger engine, it doesn't have big 17-inch wheels. Like, there are a lot of extra things you can put on a car, but sometimes you just need an ordinary car, a normal car, an average car. So to me, this is just an ordinary car right now. It's a little newer than what I would own. But when I go for a walk, there's a lot of very ordinary cars on the road. Just simple 4-door car used to get people where they need to go, to get them to work or get them to school. Commonplace. So I just realized this is a lesson where I'm trying to talk about things you buy, and nobody buys dandelions. So this is a bad picture, but it is good for the word commonplace. If someone said, do you have dandelions? That's what this type of flower, or it's actually a weed. If someone said, do you have dandelions in Canada? I would say, oh, they're commonplace. This simply means they're everywhere. When I look out the window, I can see dandelions. When I drive to work, I see dandelions. When I get to work, the lawn has dandelions in it. So they are commonplace. If you were to ask something, I'm trying to think of something you buy. Oh, if someone said, do people eat breakfast cereal in Canada? You would say, oh yeah, breakfast cereals are commonplace. There's a whole aisle of breakfast cereal in the grocery store, in my grocery store. So when something is commonplace, it means it is everywhere. Grade A. So there's a number of different ways to specify quality. Sometimes things are rated grade A, sometimes they're graded AAA. When you buy things like vegetables, you can buy grade A vegetables. That means when they harvested the vegetables, they took the best vegetables and said, these are the best, and they put them in one spot. And then there's less good vegetables that go in other spots. So grade A simply means the best. So in any kind of sorting process, we often use this for meat as well, grade A or AAA grade meat. So lackluster. So this is now more negative. When something is lackluster, it's less than ordinary. There's nothing really that exciting about it. So you might buy a watch, and this watch has a simple black band, a simple white face, and it tells the time, but it doesn't tell you the month. It doesn't tell you anything else. It's a very, trying to think of another word for it. Like it's the base model. There's nothing exceptional about it. So we would say it's lackluster. So my son bought a watch. I'll show you what watch he bought in a little bit. And it's kind of fancier. So this would be just a plain watch, a normal watch, and then nothing exciting about it. You wouldn't see someone wearing this watch and then go home and tell someone, oh, you should have seen my boss's new watch. If your boss bought this watch, you probably wouldn't even notice it. Garden variety. So this is another phrase we use to describe something that's ordinary or normal. So if you get the flu, or if you get COVID, if you have the flu, let me back up. If you were sick and someone said, oh, you have the flu, do you have COVID? You might say, no, I just have a garden variety flu. Garden variety means like just the normal flu. Oh, do you have pneumonia? No, I just have a garden variety cold. So I have the normal cold. So it just refers to something that is ordinary or normal. So it was kind of funny because I made this lesson, and then last night at market, I was talking to the vendor beside me, and he said, well, you know, you get what you pay for. And I thought, oh, I should go home and put that phrase in this lesson. In English, when someone says you get what you pay for, they usually mean that you have something that isn't working right, but you bought something cheap. So if I was to buy a really cheap car and it broke a day later, my brother might say, well, you get what you pay for. If I was to buy cookies and those cookies were half the price of all the other cookies in the store, and if I took a bite and I was like, oh, this does not taste good, Jen could say, well, you get what you pay for. Basically, it's kind of a saying, well, you didn't pay enough for that, so why are you surprised that it broke or doesn't taste good or whatever? So you get what you pay for. So we have a couple phrases to talk about things that are kind of ordinary. I've gone over a few already, but one would be plain vanilla, or even just vanilla. Vanilla is a flavor, but we also use it to describe the ordinary version of something. If I bought a new minivan, there are 3 different options. The bottom option, the cheapest option, I might just call it plain vanilla. It doesn't mean the van is white. All it means is that if I was to buy the $30,000 van or the $40,000 van or the $50,000 van, I would describe the cheapest option as plain vanilla. It doesn't have any of the extras. It's just the normal version. I bought a new phone. There are 3 versions of this phone: a Pixel 7a, a Pixel 7, and a Pixel 7 Pro. I just bought the plain vanilla Pixel 7a. I didn't spend extra money for the Pixel 7 or the Pixel 7 Pro. Okay, so it's just another way to describe, usually if there's more than one option, the lowest option available to you. Top notch. So I think I've taught this word before in another lesson. When something is top notch, it is the best, or at least one of the best. My mother-in-law makes really good pie. It's top notch. That means that when I think about all of the different pie I've eaten in my life, hers is really, really well made. I really like it. It is top notch. When I talked about ice cream, the ice cream that I described as extraordinary, I could also say is top notch. Oh, that ice cream is top notch. I love it. It is some of the best ice cream. Hey, let's do some members only chat. I did want to scroll back. I saw Mode Ag say something about a Honda Civic isn't ordinary. It is a very nice car, that's for sure. Let's see. Brent said, I'm signing off now. See you soon. So hopefully Brent has a good trip here. I'll get to questions in a sec. Yeah, Mode says a Honda Civic is not ordinary. What are you talking about, Mr. Bob? It is very... Okay, ordinary is maybe the wrong word. It's definitely very common in Canada. It is a very popular car. A lot of people drive Honda Civics here. Okay, let me get to the members only. Let me turn that on. If you are a member, you can ask questions directly in the chat in just a moment, and I will continue to answer questions from everyone else as well. And this fly is trying to join the lesson. Okay, here we go. Winter right. Hi, Teacher Bob. Most of the time I order coffee in a cafe. I remember the size small, medium, large only. How can I learn the size short, tall, grande by heart? Okay, so it depends in Canada where you buy coffee. If you go to Tim Hortons or most normal coffee shops, you will use small, medium, and large. If you go to Starbucks or you go to a fancier coffee shop or cafe, you would use short, tall, and grande. I don't even know if I'm saying grande right. So I'll have to check with people who shop at those stores. I normally just go to Tim Hortons. So even when I go to a Starbucks, I'm not sure what the sizes are. So I think a good Google search for a good image search on Google will help you with that. But yes, it depends where you go. So Avril Lavigne fan says, hello, Teacher Bob. When someone wants to start at the gym, how can we say it? Subscribe to it. No, you get a membership. So someone would say, oh, I need to start working out. I'm going to get a gym membership. I'm going to get a membership. And then you get a membership card and you can go to the gym. That is the most common way to talk about that. You subscribe to things like a magazine. You subscribe to a YouTube channel. But when you go to a gym, you just say, oh, I have a membership at that gym, or I'm going to get a membership at that gym. From the chat, by the way, thank you to all of you who are members. Members have clicked the join button below and decided to support me. So thank you to you who are members. And if you're a member, you get your name in green. You get to participate in members only chat. You get an extra video on Wednesdays, which I'm going to try and convince Brent to be in my next Wednesdays with Bob video. We'll see if, I think I try to pack a lot of stuff into 2 days. We'll see what we get done. Anyways, Vitor says, hello, Bob. When you were a child, you dressed in your brother's hand-me-downs. How about your kids? Thanks. So yes. So hand-me-downs are clothes that you get from someone older. It can be from a cousin or a friend of the family or from an older sibling. I wore hand-me-downs from my brother. And then when I was done with them, my younger brother wore them until he was taller than me. Then he didn't. So we got hand-me-downs from another family, actually 2 other families. One person that we know, a friend of Jen's, and one person that I worked with gave us their hand-me-downs. It was very, very nice. So again, a hand-me-down is usually used to refer to clothes that someone else's kids wore, but they're still good. So they give them to another family. It's very, very nice. Let's see here. I need this. New Words with MP has gifted a membership to Rabiha. Very nice. Thank you, New Words with MP. Gifted 1 Learn English with Bob the Canadian membership. You are awesome. Thank you for doing that. And Rabiha, enjoy your membership. Omran says the lesson is really enjoyable. Good to know. I like to make enjoyable lessons. Mode says very cool. New Words with MP. Yes, thank you for doing that. Isa says, I'm 49. I'm not sure if it's your birthday today, but congratulations if it is. And Rabiha says, what's the meaning of the word mist? So in the morning, above the river, there's a little bit like fog and mist are similar, but mist is usually something I use to refer to like vapor, water vapor in the air above water. So when the water's warm and the air is cool, sometimes there's mist. Like if you go to a lake early in the morning, there might be mist above the water. So it's a very, very fine water droplets in the air. It looks like fog. It's very similar to fog. They're the same thing, really. Thanks for the super sticker, Omran. Very nice of you. Let's see. Mode says, no questions or funny comments from me. I'm A bit slow today for some reason, and I'm blanking. No problem. Great English sentence, though. Freddie Wolf, hey Bob, how are you? I would love to buy things so much. Unfortunately, my wallet says no, no, no. He is not nice to me. Yeah, I have the same thing. I was checking my bank account yesterday, and I was like, oh, we need to stop buying things. Particularly, we need to stop buying gas, but we can't really. Gas in Canada hit $1.60 Canadian per liter, which is the highest I've seen it in a long time, if ever. So it's a little expensive to drive here. John Wedge, hi Bob, no question today, just listening and having fun with the Bobettes, all of us that are your students. I'm at work right now, so sometimes I need to help someone with their computer. Well, thanks for hanging out and listening in. Bonjour Bob, pas de question. Awesome topic as usual. Thank you. You are welcome. Let me get another comment or another question on the screen. I'll work through those. Keep an eye out for more from the members. Shota Blue, hi Bob. What would you imagine from the phrase a good price? Is it supposed to be cheap or expensive, or does it depend on whether you are a customer or a seller? So if you pay a good price for something, it means you didn't pay too much. So let's say someone bought a used car. I could say, oh, did you get a good, sorry, let me rephrase. Let's say someone sells a car. I could say, did you get a good price for it? Which means, did you sell it for enough money for the amount you wanted to? If you said to someone, if they bought something, if you could say, was it a good price? You're asking if it was worth the money. So let's go back to strawberries. Right now in Canada, strawberries sell for $7 a quart. But if I could buy them for $6.50, that's a good price. I would say, oh, I got a really good price on strawberries. Yes. And it does depend a bit on whether you're the customer or seller. As a seller, if I get a good price for something, it means I got a lot or a good amount. Freddie under the rain. Hi, Bob. I can't wait. The meeting with Brent and you. Awesome. My question, what do you call people who need to buy everything, even junk, to be happy in their life? Thanks. In English, we might call them a shopaholic. So that's a term we use for someone who buys things even though they don't need them. We might say, oh, they spend too much money. He's a shopaholic, or she's a shopaholic. Dimitri, hi Teacher Bob. I wish you a good stream. What watch do you use? I have a Fitbit Charge 5, I think. It's very nice. It has GPS built in, which is one of the reasons why I bought it. Okay, back to the chat. Wanda says, hi Teacher Bob. What is the name of a store that sells secondary hand clothes? Thanks a lot. So in Canada, we might call it a thrift store. One of the main stores for a long time was called Goodwill. So you might even say, oh, I'm going to go buy some clothes at the Goodwill or the Goodwill store. Or you might call it a secondhand store, used clothing store might be another word, or thrift shop or thrift store. A few different words there. Mode, congratulations on the new lavalier mic, by the way. Yeah, it's so small. I hope I didn't lose it. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. Yeah, so here's the cool part. Sorry, I can't help but talk about new technology. So it has two. So I can take this out when I go outside and clip it on. But if someone else talks to me, I can put this one on and you'll be able to hear both of us. I'm going to test this out this weekend when Brent gets here. We're going to see how well that works. That'll be fun. Anyways, yes, I like it. It's a nice mic. It's high-end, extraordinary, high quality, works flawlessly. Let's see. John Wedge, you're slow today, Mode, because it's Friday. It is Friday. Fabio says, Teacher Bob, have you ever thought of visiting Brazil, and how do you use think of and think about? I have thought of visiting a lot of places. It's not happening anytime soon, which is why Brent's coming to see me. Maybe next year I'll go and see Brent. We'll see. But for now, I'm a little too busy. And think of and think about, I'll give you a couple example sentences. Sometimes they're used interchangeably, like think of an answer or think about this. Slight difference there, right? The first one's specific. I want you to think of an answer. And the other one is general, just think about this. But I would need to do a whole lesson on that to do it justice. Lolly, can a good price be a bargain? If you are the purchaser and you say you got a good price, it means it's a bargain. If you are the seller and you say you got a good price, it means you might have got more than it's worth. Vitor, retail therapy as well. Mode says, off topic, can we say you're going to milk those days with Brent? You would probably say, you could, but you would probably say, we're going to use our time wisely. Yes, that would be probably the most common way to say it. We're going to use our time wisely. Eugene from Etobicoke, Automation Secu Home says, I just bought a t-shirt from Inter Miami for Messi. Very cool. John Wedge says, there's Goodwill in the US yet, if not mistaken. Yes, and we do have them here still, but they're not. There's just like when someone asked what they're called, I think there's been an increase in the amount of stores that sell used clothing, or sometimes people say gently used clothing. So we have something called Plato's Closet. We have something called Value Village. We have Goodwill. We have thrift stores. There's a lot of different ones. Lolly says, thanks, Bob. No problem. John Wedge says, and remember, folks, don't forget to give a thumbs up. Thanks, John, for that. Let me check from the forum. From Naboru, last month, I bought we would say plane ticket. I bought a plane ticket, which I thought cost $450, but it turned out it was US $450, equivalent to $600. So I'm not sure what SGD is. I'll have to look up that currency. How do you describe my spending? We would say you were uninformed, or we would probably say you didn't do your research, okay? Or you might just say you made a simple mistake. That might be the best way to describe it. You made a simple mistake. I've made that mistake as well. I went on Priceline.com once to book a hotel, and I forgot to change the currency from US currency to Canadian, and I thought I was getting a deal, a bargain, and I wasn't, because it wasn't a deal at all. So I think at some point everyone in life makes a mistake like that. From Vlad, hi Teacher Bob, is the word mediocre the same as ordinary? Yes, yeah. Although mediocre, no, I think like ordinary is average. It's not amazing, but it's not bad. Mediocre would be like a little bit negative. So ordinary isn't positive or negative. It's just ordinary. But mediocre would be slightly negative. Like if I ate ice cream and said, oh, it's just ordinary ice cream, that means it was okay. It wasn't bad, it wasn't good. But if I ate ice cream and said, oh, it was kind of mediocre, it has a little bit of a negative tone to it. Anyways, let me check here. So from Rabiha, there's a difference between the English Canadian and English Australian. Yeah, accent mostly, but overall very similar. They do have a few vocabulary words that are unique to them, though. But anyways, let me turn off members only chat and let's get back to the lesson. Let me finish the lesson. I will get to the rest of the questions from the form once the lesson is done in about 10 minutes. Here we go. Professional. So sometimes we say professional grade. Sometimes we say it's the professional series. When they make certain things, they make certain things for normal people, and then for people who do that as a job. So something like tools. This is a great example. You can go and buy ordinary tools, but you can also buy professional grade tools. They're more expensive, but they just last longer. They do a better job. So you don't have to be a professional to buy professional grade tools. It's just a way to describe them. So when I buy tools, I usually spend a little more money to buy professional grade tools or professional tools because they last longer on the farm. They work better. Cream of the crop. So cream of the crop is used to describe the best of anything. It doesn't have to be fruit. It can be almost anything. But when you buy apples, if you buy the cream of the crop, it means you're buying the best apples. No bruises, no blemishes, perfectly ripe, the cream of the crop. So if they harvest 100 apples and 10 apples are perfect, we would call those 10 apples the cream of the crop. Bestseller. Sometimes you go and you buy a book and you buy a bestseller. Sometimes an author is referred to as a best-selling author. So if you buy a new book and someone says, hey, is it a good book? You could say, yeah, did you know it's a bestseller? Which basically means they sold a lot of copies of that book. Award-winning. So in Canada, I'm sure in many other places in the world, there are cooking competitions. Two that come to mind are sometimes there's a chili cook-off where people go and make chili. Chili is something that's made with beans and hamburger and vegetables. If it's vegetarian chili, it obviously doesn't have hamburger in it. But sometimes you go to a restaurant and they serve an award-winning chili or an award-winning soup or an award-winning bread. It means that they won an award somewhere. It means that you can buy award-winning wine in my area, wine that's really good, and it won an award from some sort of award-giving organization. But if something is award-winning, it means that at some point in time, they won an award, a medal or a trophy, because it was so good. Top of the line. I don't always buy top of the line computers. My computer over there, where do I click here? My computer right here, oh, it's kind of hard to see. It was a top of the line computer 4 years ago, and I probably should replace it next year. But top of the line means the best. So if there were 10 different computers that I could buy, if you buy the one that's the most expensive, you would say it's top of the line. I didn't actually buy the most expensive computer though. But anyways, it still was a really good computer. In my mind, it was top of the line. It was the best computer. It's getting a little old now though. Lit. So this is a newer word. This is the watch that my son bought, which is definitely not ordinary. It's pretty cool looking. It's white. It has a really cool face. It has a neat name, G-Shock. And a word that has begun, I think I started hearing it 3 years ago, is lit. Younger people use this word like, oh, that watch is lit. It means cool. It means awesome. It means, I don't even know if this definition is here. Very good, impressive, or exciting. Yes, the party was lit. So there you go. Lit. Amazing, exciting, cool, awesome, really nice. Durable. In my video a couple weeks ago, I was wearing jeans and I said I like wearing jeans because they're tough, they're durable, they don't rip easily. It's a good thing to wear on a farm. I don't roll up my pant legs like that though, and I don't have nice shoes like that. This guy is stylish. Anyways, jeans are very durable. It's a very tough material. It doesn't get wrecked easily. It doesn't rip easily. So jeans, very, very nice. High end. I cannot afford this, but this is high-end sound equipment. So high-end refers to very expensive, very well made, all the best materials and components. Some people love sound equipment and they buy high-end speakers, loudspeakers. They buy high-end sound equipment. So it means of the best quality, like super, super high quality, high end. I would love to own sound equipment like this. When I listen to music, it would sound amazing. So definitely high end. So I'm going to look at 4 things to end: brand new, like new, used, and refurbished. So this is how we describe things that we buy. I bought a brand new phone. It simply means that no one owned this phone before me. They made this phone at the phone factory and they put it in a box, and then eventually I bought it and they sent it to me. It is brand new. No previous owner. No one owned this before me. Like new means that someone owned it before you, but they took really good care of it, and you're buying it used, but there's no scratches. You wouldn't even know it was used. It was so well taken care of. So it's like new. Sometimes when you buy a phone, you don't want to buy a brand new phone. So you go to a store and you buy one that's like new. So it is used, but it's so, it was so well taken care of, you think it's new still. And used is just simply a general term for anything that was owned before. You can buy used clothing, you can buy a used car, you can buy a used bike. If someone was to buy a motorcycle, you could say, oh, did you buy it new or used? Oh, I bought it used. I can't afford a new one. So used simply means that someone owned it before you. Refurbished refers to something that was previously owned and it's used, but someone made sure it's working well. We usually use this to talk about computers and phones or printers, usually electronics. Like, oh, did you buy a new printer? No, I bought a refurbished printer. That means it was used, but someone who is an expert at printer maintenance, hello Fly, made sure that it's working well. They cleaned it, they replaced the toner. It looks new almost. A refurbished computer is a computer where maybe they cleaned the screen, replaced the battery. They made sure it's working and in proper order. So it is refurbished. So it's used, but an expert has made sure that it's working properly again. Hey, that's the lesson. I'm going to finish up by answering the rest of the questions, and then I will say bye to everyone. Let me get the questions on the screen. If you are leaving now, though, don't forget this lesson will come out in a shorter form in a few days. You should watch it and learn, reinforce what you have learned. Oh, there's a few questions here. Let me get through them. Peter says, I'm glad to see you today, Mr. Wise Man. Bob, no question today. Your topic, it's extremely great. I hope to see you too on Sunday, Monday. I wish you a nice day. Should be fun. By the way, if I live stream Sunday or Monday or Sunday and Monday, I won't be live streaming next Saturday. So sorry to disappoint, but if I spend all my time working on YouTube when Brent's here, I won't have a lot of time in the rest of the week. From Michaelo. Hi, dear Mr. Teacher Bob. Let me slow down and drink some water. Today, you would say, today I don't have any questions, but have a prosperous weekend. Thank you very much. Dolette, hello Bob. Could you give me some advice about how to enhance my vocabulary skills? Watch lessons like this. Watch this lesson again in 2 days, the short version. Write all these words down and use each one in a sentence. That's a great start. And then try to use all of these words in an English conversation. Diana, is there anything that you really want to buy? So we're going to add a there. Is there anything that you really want to buy? No, not really. Not right now. I'm really hoping our vans keep working for another year. And then next year I will buy another, I will sell one of my vans and buy a used van. So we'll see how things go. But right now, there's not a lot that I want to buy. From Fabian, hi Teacher Bob. Thank you for this amazing English lesson. No problem. I have a question for you. How often do you splurge money on non-essential items? Greetings from Colombia. Not very often. I did buy, a couple years ago, I bought a camera. And I feel like I splurged because I bought it on a whim. Like I didn't really need it. And then I bought it and then I feel like I shouldn't have. So not very often at all. Let's see here. From Timotheos, is there like a cheat sheet or something with all the words you taught us today? So people have asked for this in the past. And the reason I don't give a list of words is if you really want to learn these words, as you watch the lesson, you should be writing them down. I'm an old school teacher. I firmly believe that students should take notes when they're listening to something. So if you aren't doing that, you should do it. So no, I don't provide a list. People have asked for that in the past, and my response is yes. You should be making a list. You, the student, should make a list. It's a great activity to do while you're listening to a lesson. From Crit, hello, Teacher Bob. What can I explain to a person? Too much money. Oh, what can I explain to a person who spends too much money and buys unnecessary things? Yeah, that's a tricky one. People have different spending habits. That's how we describe that in English. Some people just don't like spending money, and some people spend money very easily. So I'm not sure what advice I would give because it's hard to change people's habits. I'm good. Bob, do we use the word there with verbs? For example, there, a man helped me in the airport, or we simply say, a man helped me at the airport. So first of all, here's how I would say that. If I'm telling a story and I want to emphasize where I was, I could say I was at the airport and there a man helped me. Okay, so you could do that. You're just emphasizing it though. You could simply say a man helped me at the airport. That's the simple, easy, most common way to say that. Last question from Abdi Kafi. Yo, Bob, I have a question. What does it mean, this phrase, strike out? Does it mean if something doesn't go your way? And how do you use it when it comes to your conversation? Thank you. Yeah, I think you'll have to look this one up because it has a couple meanings. The basic meaning is in baseball, you can strike out. If you swing and miss on 3 pitches, or if the pitcher throws strikes and you don't swing and the ump calls it a strike, you strike out. But it also refers to yeah, you'll have to look up the other definition because I don't want to talk about, I don't know if it's a safe for work definition. So you'll have to look that up. That's where I'll leave that. Hey, thanks for watching. That was fun. Let me do my normal outro here and ramble on about a number of things. 1, thanks Dave for helping out. 2, this lesson will be available in a shorter format, about 25 or 30 minutes long in a couple days. Do listen to it or watch it again. And if you didn't take notes the first time, try to make a list, try to write down all the words, copy them off the screen. But it's just a good idea. It will reinforce what you have learned in this lesson. Number 3, new video coming out Tuesday. I think it'll be fun. It's called Billionaire English. And I don't want to give away too much, but I got some really cool footage. I went out and about looking for wealthy, well, I didn't find wealthy people, but I found a lot of the stuff they own and made videos while I stood in front of it. So look for that video Tuesday. I think you'll love it. There might even be, no, I'm not going to give away any hints. And then lastly, I mentioned this a few times. Brent from Speak English with This Guy is on his way to Canada. I won't be seeing him tomorrow, but I will be seeing him Sunday and Monday. Look for possible live streams Sunday night and Monday morning. I'm gonna convince Brent to do that. Hopefully the weather is nice. And we'll do a live stream on my channel, maybe for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and then move over to Brent's channel. And then we'll do the same the next day, I hope. And then we're making, obviously, a few videos while he's here and also just hanging out. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. So look for that Sunday, Monday, and then look for a few videos coming out in the week that follows as well. Thanks, Dave, again for moderating the chat. And I'll let you know, Dave, when those live streams are, when we do them. If you can pop into one or both, that would be awesome. Let's say bye to people. Bye, John Wedge, Vitor, Mode Eggs, Arena, Renata, Sophia, Japan, Eugene, Automation, Secure Home, Huawei, Renata, Fabio, John Wedge, Omran, Lolly Lolly, Arena, Hafiez, Kima Kima. I think I said Renata already. Dimitri. I'll just say bye to people as it pops up in the chat for the next little bit here. Bye to Isa. Isa says, thank you, Teacher Bob, for the interesting lesson. No problem. Timotheos says, bye, Bob. Bye to Terrace. Bye to Ralph. Bye to all of you. Let me just make sure. I did have one little weird glitch while I was doing this lesson. Bye to Theo. Thanks for the super sticker, super chat. Vitor, Arian, Lamin, Sue. Need my glasses, people. I can't see. Trong, Reginald, Clive is here. Hi, Clive. Renata, Hafiez, and all of you. Anyways, Caitlin, bye to everybody. I'm going to stop talking now. Thanks for watching. Keep track on the community page on this channel for any updates about what's happening later towards the end of the weekend and early next week. But anyways, have a good day. Bye.